Hi there, welcome back to The Taste of Life and to Step 2 from Separation to Unity, where today we're going to talk about how walking can be an exercise for the mind. But before I go into that story, I first would like to talk to you a little bit more about that concept of unity and of separation. What do I mean when I talk about that place of unity? And what do I mean when I talk about going from separation to unity? I realize that those might be like big words that are not easily connected to anything in your daily life, and where you might think that it really is not, doesn't make any sense to you, and is not really something that you should get into. Well, I would like to let you know that actually it is very, very much connected to our daily life, and is actually what makes our daily life so much easier, and what makes our experience of our daily life so much freer and so much more enjoyable. So what do I mean with that concept of unity? Basically, all it means is being connected. Being connected to everything and everyone around you, and realizing that everything in this universe is connected in one way or another. Everything that happens, everyone you meet, everything you see around you, everything you come in touch with, everything is connected, and you are connected to everything and everyone. And what that brings to you as well is the opening to really a deep connection to yourself. And I will try to explain that to you from my own experience after I received my cancer diagnosis, and I tumbled down that dark hole of anxiety and of despair and of fear. And what I felt in that moment was a total disconnect. And I had experienced connection to myself and to who I was before. And in that moment, I lost it completely. And it made me very, very fearful, because there was nothing that I could connect to. I felt like totally isolated, and I felt like I was in this cocoon of darkness and of fear, and I was stuck in it. And there was nothing that could reach me, and there was nothing that I could reach outside of that cocoon. And that is why connection is so important. Knowing that everything is connected, and that you are connected to everything and everyone around you, makes it impossible for you to ever feel isolated or alone. Having that deep connection, realizing that that deep connection is there and feeling it, brings you to that place of wholeness. It makes you feel whole. It makes you feel that you belong, and that you belong to something bigger than just yourself. And that just takes away all the anxiety and all the fears, and it brings a feeling of peace and of balance and of safety. And that is the importance of this connection. And that is that place of unity. It is a place of connection. It is a place of being connected to yourself. And when you're connected to yourself, to your true self, to your essence, that means that you are connected to everything and everyone around you. So that is how we come now to the essence of this story, which is walking, and how it can be an exercise for the mind. Because it was walking that was actually my step back into that connection. So as I was saying before, I felt totally isolated and really stuck in this cocoon of fear and of darkness, not finding anything to connect to, and like really fearful that nothing could reach me in that cocoon. And I had always loved walking. I had always loved hiking and being out in nature. I like since I was a child, I was very much a nature girl. So I think it made sense that I was looking for my healing outside in nature. And so I started walking again. And I walked and I walked and I walked, and I just kept walking, because that seemed to be the only thing that could help me with my anxiety. As long as I was walking, as long as I was in control of putting one foot in front of the other, I felt that at least there was something that I could do, that there was something that I was in control of, and that there was something that could give me a little bit of relief from all the pain and all the anxiety that I was experiencing. What I was looking for on these walks was mostly grounding, because in this state of disconnect, I was I felt like I was floating. I was floating aimlessly in this airtight cocoon of fear. And I was desperately looking for some grounding, to ground myself, to anchor myself, to find a way back to myself. And so on these walks, I would feel the urge and the need to take off my shoes and walk barefoot through the grass, because that would bring like an inkling of connection back to me. Like as soon as my feet would touch the grass, I would feel a certain hope rising inside of me. And on these walks, I would actually hug the trees, because I so much needed to feel a connection. And when I was hugging a tree, what I could feel was that it was strong and that it was solid and that it was accepting me just as I was. Like it wasn't judging me, it wasn't trying to make me better, it was just standing there and it was just holding me. And that was what I felt like on these walks, like I was being held. And yes, it took a while. It took long walks. It took hours and days and weeks and months of walking. But on every walk, I could feel the connection slowly coming back. On every walk, there was something that would trigger this feeling of being connected, like an emotion or a feeling of gratitude or feeling anything back. Because when I was stuck in that cocoon of fear, it seemed like I could not feel any other emotions anymore. I could not even cry. I was just really, really stuck in a cocoon of a racing mind of fear and anxiety. And when I was out on those walks, and when I was hugging the trees, and when I could hear the bees, and I could hear the flow of water, there would be something that was penetrating into that cocoon. And after weeks and months of walking, I could actually say that I was feeling some kind of connection again. I could actually say that the racing mind was starting to slow down, and that there was a feeling of hope and a feeling of gratitude for being alive coming up inside of me again. And that was the moment where I was stepping back into the connection to myself. And it was on those long, long walks that I realized that actually I was connected to Mother Nature and she was connected to me. It was walking in nature that helped me find my way out of that cocoon. A cocoon that had been created because of my belief that I was separate, that I was alone, and that there was no connection. And it was walking in nature that brought me back to that connection, the connection first and foremost to myself, and then the understanding that I am connected to everything and everyone around me. It was walking in nature that was allowing me to silence my mind. It was walking in nature that brought me back to a place of peace and calm. It took a long time, but eventually I got there. And still now, whenever I'm struggling with something, when I need answers, when I'm upset, when I feel a level of anxiety coming up again, I will go and I will walk in nature. Because every single time it will bring me that feeling of peace and of belonging. It is when I'm outside in nature on these walks that I actually feel the most connected. So, what I would like to leave you with today is the tip of, whenever something is bothering you, whenever you feel like there's things that you can't handle, when you're struggling, when you need answers, when something is unclear, try and go out for a walk in nature. Like, be present. When you are walking, make it like a walking meditation. Be focused on every step you take. Don't, like, in the beginning, your mind might still be racing, and you will be thinking about tomorrow or the future or whatever is happening in your life, or you might be thinking about something that has happened in the past. But when you keep focusing on whatever is around you, notice how the birds are singing, the sun is shining, the clouds are moving, maybe there is the sound of water or the wind rustling in the trees. Really focus every single one of your senses on what is happening around you. Really focus on slowly putting one foot in front of the other. And then you will begin to notice that the racing mind will calm down. Like it cannot do anything else but surrender to the connection that is coming up with everything that is going on around you in nature. As I've said before, everything outside of you and everything inside of you is connected. So allow the peace and the presence of Mother Nature on your walk to really calm whatever is going on inside of you. So that was my tip for today. Walking not just as a physical exercise, but as an excellent exercise for the mind, and really as a phenomenal way of finding that connection to everything that is and to mostly yourself. That was it for today. I thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, if you would like to reach out to me, I would love to hear from you, and my website is listed below. And I hope you will join me again next week when we will be talking about the rhythm of the seasons and how to translate that into your life and into your best experience of life and your well-being. Thank you again. Bye for now.